Hi guys, today I've picked out 5 strategy games that should be coming in 2022. We'll be taking a look at Terminator Dark Fate Defiance, which I think could be a good one. War Hospital, the World War I hospital simulation. Dune Spice Wars, which comes from the makers of Northgard. Starship Troopers Terran Command, a chaotic RTS game. And finally, we'll check out Gord, the single-player action-adventure strategy game. There are some good looking games in this video, so before we get into it, please subscribe and hit that like button as it really helps. Right, let's do this. So up first, we've got Terminator Dark Fate Defiance. Now this is an RTS game. It's been made by Katsu Play. They made the game Syrian Warfare. Now I played that game and the DLC, The Road to Palmyra, and I really enjoyed it. I don't think it has that much of a following, but if you ever see it on offer on Steam, I definitely recommend trying it if you like RTS games. In this game, you'll be able to play as the humans fighting against the machines of Legion, either in a large single-player campaign or on skirmish formats. Apparently, you'll be able to find and locate more allies or enemies along the way. With Syrian Warfare, as you progress through the campaign, you can build your forces, so it's important not to lose really good units or tanks easily, as they'll be needed later on. Though you do have options to find more, but survivability is what you consider, and the game promises the same. They're promising plenty of different unit types, so you can build your army to suit your playstyle, and this was the same in Syrian Warfare as well. If you looked after your tanks, you could keep hold of like loads of T90s or T80s, you know, decent armour. Or you could look after your special forces troops, then you'd make sure to have plenty of those. Now I'll definitely be following this one, and it's due to come out on PC in the second half of 2022.
The Great War didn't start as something we were worried about.
Here we have War Hospital. You'll be in charge of a field hospital during World War I. Where you'll need to manage your staff and build up your facilities and research new procedures to help treat injured soldiers. This was a brutal time in warfare where technology and outdated military doctrines clashed, so the injuries and death toll were horrific. It's notable that the game starts out in 1917 when the first use of mustard gas occurred. The game is based on the moral aspects of war and has role-playing elements as well. You'll need to prioritise which soldiers to treat first. Now if there's little chance of survival, are you wasting time trying to save someone's life and potentially sentencing others to death while you try in vain to save someone who's certain to die? If the field hospital is damaged, do you stop production of essential supplies in order to get everything repaired quickly, or do you carry on at reduced capacity in order to keep treating people? You're going to have to keep up the morale of your staff and the injured while trying to get to grips with the medical advances that took place at the time. And I can imagine sort of on a daily basis you might have to deal with things like trench foot or people getting hit by snipers, and then you can have big influxes of injured soldiers when they try to push the front lines. Or if there's a gas attack, you can get a massive influx of casualties after that. Their mustard gas, it wasn't a very effective killing agent. It did create a massive amount of casualties that all need to be treated. Artillery bombardments could bring in soldiers with serious trauma wounds or shell shock. That was a big issue during the war. It's something I've never seen before, as most medical games tend to be more amusing rather than dealing with actual life and death. I've already put this one on my wish list. It's going to be coming out in the second half of 2022 and it'll be available on Xbox One, Xbox X, PS4, PS5 and PC.
There it is. The biggest death trap.
For the third game today, we've got Dune Spice Wars. This is going to be an RTS game with 4x elements. It comes from the makers of Northgard, and at the moment we only have the announcement trailer. Now looking at the screenshots, it's got a very Civilization-like feel to it, with city building and small groups of troops looking to move around just like Civilization. You'll need to explore the world and establish new cities while trying to find and exploit spice, which is needed to extend life, consciousness, and allow for space travel. While doing this, you'll need to be aware of the giant sandworms which can kill your troops and destroy your spice harvesters. There will be 7 playable factions and you'll need to dominate using political power, military might, subterfuge or economics. There's not much known about the game, but it will be released as early access next year with a full release within a year.
This is my future.
This is my honor.
This is my vengeance. This is my doom.
Alright, up next we've got Starship Troopers Terran Command. Even if they were cheesy, I like the movies and the trailer for this is done in the same style. Now this is promising to be an RTS style game where you'll take control of the mobile infantry defending against endless swarms of arachnids. You need to take back control of a mining planet which has accidentally disturbed them. Unlike the Arachnids, you don't have never-ending supplies of people, so you need to use tactics to your advantage with dozens of different unit types available. You'll have engineers which will put down machine gun positions, place barricades and minefields. You'll have normal infantry squads with machine guns and grenades. Rocket troops will be able to deliver explosive RPGs to counter the hordes. There are going to be different unique units who will be able to assign to lead your forces, and all the units should be upgradable. As the campaign progresses, you'll unlock more unit types and technology, like pulse rifles, tactical strike aircraft, and powerful mechanised units. The game features certain mechanics like true line of sight and true line of fire. With these, you'll be able to take advantage of elevated positions to rain fire down on your enemies. I'd have to see proper gameplay footage of it once it's released, but for me it's given me an almost tower-like defence feel to it. The initial units that scout the enemies look movable, but after that everything else looks static, and when they actually say in the game it's static. If it is tower defence, then it's got no right calling itself RTS, but we'll have to see. I'm also not that keen on the publisher, Sliverine, as they tend to pump out a lot of rehashed rubbish. The Close Combat series, which got taken over by Matrix Games, they just make new games based on the original design from 20 years ago, and they're all published by Sliverine as well. Anyway, it's due for release on the 31st of March 2022.
Tanker bug! Hold the...
So for the last game today, we've got Gord. Now this is an interesting game, it's got a bit of everything. Set in a dark fantasy background of monsters and magic, this is part city builder, part adventure game, part strategy survival game. The city builder element will see you build your small settlement into a large fortress to protect you from other tribes and monsters that lurk beyond your walls. You'll be able to construct many buildings and palisades to keep your people safe and help to gather and process resources. As for adventuring, you'll need to lead your people, the people of the tribe of Dawn, on quests into the Forbidden Lands that will develop their skills and personalities. You'll need to look after their sanity and burden levels. While they can suffer from anything from illness to hunger, if their loved ones die they can experience breakdowns or run away from your settlement entirely. There's meant to be a main objective, but an AI-driven storyteller will provide you with plenty of side quests and random encounters along the way. This sounds a bit like a RimWorld style system to me. Anyway, it certainly looks good. Let me know which games you're looking out for, and also please hit that like and subscribe button if you haven't already done so.